So the weekend just gone at the top levels of English football is classed as the international break. The top two tiers don't have any fixtures scheduled because a lot of players are away representing their international teams. As a result, non-league day exists. This year is the 12th of October and it focuses on trying to attract Premier League and Championship fans who would usually be attending games at a much higher level to come down to non-league and just explore and see what the beauty of non-league is and see how different it is, but also how good it is. This also provides a great opportunity for non-league clubs to attract new fans and also to get more money through the gates on non-league day itself. Because a lot of these same teams are competing to get the same Premier League and Championship fans to come and watch their team on non-league day. That means that some of these teams actually do some very interesting things and have some quirky methods of trying to attract people to come through the gates. We're going to look into it and see why non-league day is so important to non-league clubs in this video. But first of all, the video is sponsored by OneFootball, which is a great way to stay up to date with lots of different information. Ironically, up towards the Premier League and Championship, it is a very useful app at a lot of different levels of the game, not only in England but also overseas in Europe and across the world as well. Lots of different stats and lineups, fixtures, results, league tables, stats, news, transfers, different social media videos as well. There's lots of different things available on this app that you can go and check out. It's got a high rating on Apple and Android, a 4.7 and 4.8 with over 1 million people voting for the rating on Android. So yeah, if you haven't downloaded it already, links to download it will be in the top line of the description. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So non-league day was set up in 2010 by James Doe, who is a Harrow Borough fan, also a QPR fan, and it was mainly to try and attract his friends to go and watch non-league football during the international break. This then spiralled into something that has become what it is today. While it's not the only international break of the season, this one has been chosen as one to put particular focus on non-league football. It allows extra attention to be put onto these non-league teams that ordinarily would just be forgotten about by the majority of the footballing world. Interestingly, there's actually caught on overseas. Similarly, in the likes of France and Germany, they have the same international breaks, but they're actually implementing their own versions of non-league day. And talking of Germany, that's actually related to the method that one of the English teams this year has used to try and get fans through the gate. As I mentioned, some of the teams do think outside the box to try and attract new fans. AFC Rushden and Diamonds offered anyone wearing traditional Bavarian clothing in a nod to the Oktoberfest festival free entry to their game. Also, Kings Langley offered anyone who comes in with a dog entry at concession rate. But without doubt, my favourite is Thetford Rovers, who offered to give out a free bag of bread rolls to every paying adult. That is awesome. Much more common thing, there's a few different clubs that actually offer their fans to pay what they want, which does sort of give you an idea as a football club what your fans want to pay, but also fans can take that as into their advantage to just pay what they can afford. A side effect of non-league day is that it often does actually throw up some really interesting stories. Members of a Norwegian amateur club, the Saga Jordet Hellhounds, were watching the Sunderland Till I Die documentary, which is on Netflix. It's actually a really good watch. They booked to come over to England to come and watch Sunderland play Fleetwood on this weekend. They'd done it months ago, but Sunderland, despite being in League One, decided to call their game off because they had too many players away on international duty. The rule is that if you have a minimum of 3 players away on international duty, you can apply for your game to be postponed, and a few teams have done this. Sunderland are one of those. But this group of people coming from Norway were undeterred and they went and watched a game in the Northern League Division 1. They watched Sunderland RCA versus Whitley Bay. That's awesome to just see a group of Norwegians going to a random game in non-league. However, unfortunately, this non-league day has actually seen a lot of games postponed. 3 games in the National League were called off due to disruptions on the rail networks around Milton Keynes, which basically caused a lot of trains to be cancelled or severely delayed and stopped some teams getting to their games. Dover couldn't get to Barrow, Dagenham Redbridge couldn't get to Stockport, and Sutton United versus AFC Fylde was also postponed. Now, this is actually an interesting thing because you would have thought that a lot of clubs do actually go to games on a coach, which would mean that this wouldn't be a problem, but this just does highlight that some teams do go via trains. But of the 8 teams that did have their home games go ahead in the National League, 7 of those teams actually had higher than average attendances, which is a great marker to show that this has been a success of a non-league day. One of the highest ones in terms of an increase on their attendances was Aldershot, who had a 60% increase on their attendances compared to average. That's because they did a pay what you want offer, so that worked. The only club that had a lower than average attendance was Notts County, and that's because they're the highest average attendance in non-league anyway. They're not really much of a non-league club. In my opinion, I don't really view them as much of a non-league club. They're just here because of the last few years of mismanagement. For me, they've got a fan base and everything around the club of a much higher level. Everyone knows who they are, and plenty of people go and watch them anyway. Finally, one of the real big positives of non-league day is the work that goes into the partnership with Prostate Cancer UK, which is a really important charity, and it's had a really important focus in the football industry as well over the last few years. This is just one of the many partnerships that they have. Non-league day helps prostate cancer to raise a lot of money through all of these different clubs in non-league to create a big pot of money that really results from non-league day that can really have a lot of benefit. And that overall is a huge positive. One of the many positives to non-league day. Did you go to a game this non-league day? Let me know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on non-league day overall? Do you think it is a really good concept? And do you know anyone that's actually resulted in going to a non-league game that wouldn't ever actually normally go to a non-league match? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and click subscribe as well, so up to date with lots of different information from non-league football. And yeah, I hope to see you in this video, and thanks for watching.